Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Skyman TV, the tallest man, Black Africa. Kenyans are hurting. The cost of living is very high. Even when Kenyans thought that the government would do something, the government is at it again. William Samuel Ruto has ordered a salary reduction of 3% on all civil servant pay slips. This has shocked many Kenyans. This is something that has caught many Kenyans off guard. Na wengi sasa wamepatwa na kilio. I opined in this channel that by the time William Samuel Ruto will be finishing his first term, he will be the most unpopular president on the planet Earth. I also opined today that even those who we call Raila Odinga's haters, I believe they will need him one day in one way or the other. I believe some of them want him to go to Madamano because they have realized, after all, Baba knew that the government is in the wrong hands. He knew that the country is heading in the wrong direction. The purpose of the 3% salary reduction is because of his legacy projects that he's calling affordable housing. That after kulipa pesa hizo zote, after kutolewa hizo pesa 3%, kukatwa mshahara 3%, in the fullness of time, the house will be owned by the person who is contributing. Now the question that Kenyans are asking, what if you don't want that house? What if? Why should it be forced down your throat? What if your priority is an airplane? What if your priority is a vehicle? What if you don't need that housing? What of those who owns houses already? So why should you force them to buy houses, yet they don't want the houses because tayari wako nazo? Isn't this illegal? Where was the public consultation as our constitution demand? Kwa kile ambacho tunaona ni kwamba ni rais ambaye badala ya kuwa mwanademokrasia, he's turning out as an autocrat, a dictator whose words is law, who does not even consult anybody. Again, when you ask Kenyans, many will tell you that what is happening here, we are fattening politicians. Kenyans are fattening politicians. All said and done, utapata kwamba hata zile pesa ambazo huwa wanatoa, hata ile kodi ambayo wanalipa, the government cannot even account for it. Kwa sababu, because of the high level of corruption in this country, it becomes very, very difficult to convince Kenyans, to convince civil servants, to convince employees that the money will be used in good use, will be put into good use. Kwa sababu ule ufisadi uko katika nchi hii ni ufisadi wa hali ya juu sana. Wakati wa enzi ya Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, yeye mwenyewe aliambia ulimwengu kwamba Kenya ilikuwa ikipoteza shilingi bilioni 2 kila siku. Today, William Samoei Ruto's government is losing almost 10 billions every day. This is due to high level of corruptions. You have to oil your hands for you to get services. You have to oil somebody's hands for you to get a good job. That is what is happening. Ule wizi uko katika nchi ni wa hali ya juu sana. Even when you expect good services, what is happening? You are not getting them. Again, Kenyans pay as you earn, pay 30%. Every employee lazima, hata awe ni wa serikali, awe ni private sector, you must pay that % of your salary. It's pay as you earn. And sometimes I call it pay as you suffer because I don't see anything that we are getting out of the 30%. So if somebody is getting say like 100,000, about 30 to 33,000 will go to taxes. If you are getting 10,000, 3,000 will go to taxes. It will go to fatten the bulls, to go to fatten politicians in the name of taxes. And Kenyans are not getting good services. You know, mambo yangekuwa tofauti kama tuseme kwa mfano, you tax them and then you give them good services. Kenyans have no problem with paying services. The problem is that once you tax them like through the pay as you earn, and then you also tell them to pay dearly for them to get UGA. And you know, the 3% salary reductions is coming at a time when the even UGA prices have not even come down. It's coming when people cannot even afford 3 square meals on the table. It's coming at a time when school fees has been increased. It's coming at a time when the cost of electricity is very, very high. Remember, even William Samoei Ruto, I think just 3 months he had assured the country that the cost of electricity was going to increase. And since he said that time, the electricity cost has quadrupled. This is shocking, if you ask me. Kenyans are paying a National Hospital Insurance Fund. They are also paying NSSF money, NSSF deductions. And if you don't pay, the government agents will be on you and you are liable to imprisonment for failing to remit the deductions. Kwa hivyo kile ambacho tunaona ni kwamba hata baada ya Wakenya kujaribu kujitolea kulipa zile pesa za NSSF, ukienda hospitalini hamna dawa. Kilazo hospitalini ole wako na Mungu wako. Kwa sababu hii nchi utapata ya kwamba ule ufisadi uko ni mwingi sana. In some cases, you find that people are paying for NSSF and they have medical schemes. This is the government that we have for you. And these schemes are not any better because they have been forced down their throats. And the government is ruthless when it comes to collecting these deductions. Again, when you look at civil servant salaries, ni mshahara wa kijugujiko, mshahara what we call meagre salaries, mshahara wa kujichumia tubo peke yake, mshahara ambao huwezi kutoshea yale mambo ambayo unataka kutimiza. So, how do you tax 3% of somebody who is getting 50,000? How do you get this? Why is the government so ruthless? Why is the government so uncaring? Why is the government appetite for Kenyan money, for workers money? Ile tamaa iko ni kama ya fisi. Hatuwezi kuendelea kuangalia serikali ikizidi because what the government is doing for sure. This is a rip off. All said and done. Tangu nani I'm finding it even difficult to mention the name. Since William Samoei Ruto took over the reign of this country, kile ambacho tumeona ni kwamba hatujaona wafanyikazi wakiongezewa mishahara, hatujaona polisi wakiongezewa mishahara, hatujaona. Kile ambacho tumeona ni ahadi ambazo hazina mwelekeo, ahadi ambazo hazijatimizwa. We have not seen it. Again, when you look at this issue of 3% deduction, already I've said Kenyans are overtaxed. Truth be told, in some is even double taxation. Kwa sababu you pay as you earn, and then ukienda kununua uga dukani tayari unatozwa kodi na ulikuwa umelipa pay as you earn. That is double taxation. Again, when you look at the price of commodities, Kenyans should know one thing. For instance, the price of fuel, a liter, which is Kenya shilling 180 today, about 100 shillings goes to tax. So Kenyans are already overtaxed. And these civil servants, even they are finding it difficult to go to report to duties because of the heavy taxation that the government has done. So raiding their pay at a time like this is wrong in my view because already, as I have said, they are already overtaxed. So may I see it as a way of feeding the Kenya Kwanza cartels. Kwa sababu ukiangalia utaona kwamba serikali hii ukiangalia ina tamaa kubwa sana. Serikali hii ina njia nyingi ambazo inatumia pesa kwa njia ambazo hazifai. This is happening when the government is very busy creating unconstitutional offices. This is happening at a time when the government does not care what happens to the common mwananchi. The government does not care about Wajiko. Nobody cares anymore because ukiangalia even the state of security in this country, it is wanting. We are in a situation whereby the police and the military guys are being overpowered by the bandits. And this is happening despite Kenyans paying taxes. Nobody can even assure you of your security. So why are we milking Kenyans dry? Why? Why continue milking a cow that doesn't produce enough milk for its calf? Kwa nini tuendelee kama watu ambao maziwa yamekauka? Kwa nini tuwatese wa Kenya? So I think Raila Amolo Odinga, when he goes to the street, I think this is something else you need to add. And Azimio also need to add the issue of the remittance of money to the counties and again to the county assemblies, not the county assembly, county government, kwa sababu unapotazama utaona kwamba serikali ni serikali ambayo haijali ni wapi unapata one thing is very fun. Look at the irony of this, that the government has not paid some civil servants. The county government employees, some were last paid in December, and now the government want their money. See the irony in it. Na hii ni serikali ambayo ilisema kwamba itamweka mwananchi mbele na wengine watawekwa nyuma. But when you look at it, kwa sababu walisema yule mtu ambaye atapewa kipaumbele ni Wajiko, ni Hustler, lakini sasa yule mtu ambaye anapewa kipaumbele ni mwanasiasa. Again, when you look at civil servants, majority of them I know have huge banks loan. Truth be told, when you look at their salaries, some of them get almost nothing. They depends on per diem and out of pocket and whatnot, kwa sababu hawana chochote. You find somebody analipa mkopo ambao alichukua benki, mkopo ambao una riba kubwa sana, interest is very high, and the interest is changing almost on daily basis, and Kenyans are paying for this. Wamejitolea. Wengine walichukua mikopo kujenga nyumba, wengine walichukua mikopo kusomesha watoto wao, na sasa you want to deduct the remaining. Sasa kile ambacho kitabaki ni nini sasa? Do Kenyans see even the need of working if this happens? Because Kenyans cannot trust the government. It has failed the Kenyans. It has failed to give the necessary services. So by saying that Kenyans should be deducted 3% of their salaries to cater for affordable housing projects, this is a wrong move, if you ask me. This is something that is not even popular with the masses. And I believe it is one of the many projects that are going to fail. I may look like I'm a pessimist, but truth be told, you cannot trust Kenya Kwanza government with your money. You cannot trust the government of William Samoei Ruto. They have failed us in the past, so you cannot trust them. You know, the past explains the present and the future. I don't know what to think, but if you ask me, William Samoei Ruto is raiding civil servant person at the wrong time. It is a wrong move and should be condemned by all Kenyans. This is your host, Gachie Skyman, the tallest man in Black Africa. Remember to like this video and may you have a blessed day. Till next time, bye bye.